My name is Nancy Neylon, and I'm the Executive Director of the Ohio Domestic Violence Network. And I want to thank you for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedules to come here today. We're here to recognize the importance of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Each year in October, those committed to ending domestic violence take time to celebrate the survivors, mourn the victims, and further awareness of how far we've come in providing support and services to the victims, and how far we have to go to ultimately end domestic violence in our homes. Every day, the Ohio Domestic Violence Network inspires, informs, and connects all those connected with domestic violence, because together we are stronger. And this, of course, as you know, is our purple light nights, and you can see so many of us wearing purple. I'm really glad to see that. Domestic violence is not a problem that will simply end with providing services to victims and abusers. We know that laws and policies must change. The Ohio General Assembly is a vital part of doing that in crafting legislation to address domestic violence. I would like to particularly thank Representative Gonzales for hosting today's press conference. Representative Gonzales represents District 19 here in the Franklin County area. And I particularly want to thank Representative Gonzales for her concern and commitment to ending domestic violence. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I was just posting on Facebook where I am and what I'm doing right now, because this is a very important cause. And it's an honor to be here today to recognize October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In the past 30 years, many have spoken out and broken the silence surrounding domestic violence. In that time, we've made critical progress, legislative changes and policies, and established life-saving programs. Services have assisted countless survivors and saved untold number of lives. This progress is essential, yet domestic violence remains a devastating social problem, impacting our justice system, our healthcare system, and workplaces. Domestic violence affects all types of people, regardless of race, gender, age, religion, socioeconomic group. It affects everyone. Domestic violence does not it includes also physical abuse. Domestic violence also encompasses emotional abuse and financial abuse. It's an ongoing pattern of domination that uses strategies that include irrational demands, surveillance, isolation, and the realistic threat of physical harm. The impact of domestic violence is enduring and far-reaching. The hurt does not stop with injuries. Domestic violence often leads to higher prevalence of other health conditions such as heart disease, arthritis, and stroke, high cholesterol, lower birth weight. Victims do not just include the person who has been abused, it also includes family members who are exposed to the violence. Children are not passive witnesses to the tension and violence in the home. Children living with violence will actively assess their roles, worry about the consequences, and engage in problem solving to protect themselves or their siblings, both physically and emotionally. While we have made tremendous strides, the work is not done. Last year, Ohio's law enforcement responded to 70,717 domestic disputes and made over 40,000 arrests. Ohio's courts have issued over 19,000 civil protection orders. An Ohio domestic violence program provided services to 118,305 women and children, and sheltering 7,836. Domestic Violence Awareness Month is a time to celebrate the survivors and the positive advances we've made in addressing this problem. It's also a time to recommit to ultimately preventing domestic violence. It is everyone's responsibility. It can be as simple as being a positive role model to the young people who you interact with, to raising more children with respect, to respect themselves and others, and to encourage your employer to acknowledge the issue and develop policies that create a respectful workplace environment. As a legislator, I can promise you that I will continue to raise awareness in regard to domestic violence and see what legislative changes, what legislative policies can be created My sister was a victim of domestic violence, and at that time, I was 18 years old, and I wish I knew today, what I know today, what I could have done for her when I was 18 years old, but to help her out and with her children. So once again, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.